Hey, it's Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, and this week, actually this is a midweek episode, I want to go over this super van that I did with, I made it black flames, which is, it's not custom, that's a standard model from when I was a kid. This was the new casting of the it's the Incredible Hulk one. It's like a lime green with, it was the Hulk and Iron Man. And I stripped the paint, which I don't know if I'm using a citrus strip. And when I first got it, the thing worked awesome. And now it's starting to take 2 or 3 times. I'm not sure. Maybe it could be the temperature. I keep it in the basement. It's not like a paint. I didn't think it would make a difference, but it's the only thing I can think of that's changed, aside from the fact that the bottle is maybe about a month, 6 weeks old. So anyways, I stripped the paint. It was quite the process. It took 2 or 3 times, plus a wire brush. Once I finished stripping it and cleaning it, I primed it with some Krylon gray primer. Then I took and used Wicked Colors black and put it through my airbrush. And it had a little bit of a shine to it, which was perfect. It was almost like a semi-flat at the, once it was done being sprayed. I think I put 3 coats. I ended up screwing up, and the last time I painted white because I did this white van, and I guess I didn't clean it out, so I had a little bit of white in there, so a couple dry specks ended up getting on there, so I had to kind of sand in between and then put a final coat on it. But this van, now this is brand new, or fairly brand new casting. And this is the old van. This was a flea market find if you watched any of my last videos. And then this one was one of the ones from my childhood. So if you notice, underneath, they're fairly, well, they're pretty similar. I mean, there's really no difference here, except the newer ones have 1 post and then the tab that locks on, whereas the old ones had 2 posts. So what I liked about this was the rims. I'm not crazy about the wheels. There's no tread on them, and they look very balloonish. You can kind of see it's very rounded on the corners here, as opposed to these monoblock wheels. They're more square. But aside from that, I really liked the rims themselves. So I didn't do anything at all to this casting as far as the base goes, which includes the rear bumper and this front. So this was already detailed, the headlights and the front turn signals. All I got left to do to this is do the side orange and red for the side markers. But what I like about this, I didn't screw it together, is it has an entire base. The older ones had a post that stuck up right here, and then it was like, imagine half of this with a post that stuck down that kind of plugged in. And it was a very basic interior. Not a fan. I mean, it looks okay. It's not like you can see anywhere in the back of the van. Anyways, this one was solid black. I took some Citadel, I want to say it was Xandri Dust, was the name of the color. And I put 2 thin coats on the interior. If I could find a way to put shag carpet in it, I would have done it. But actually, I'd probably do it with felt, now that I'm thinking about it. So that's that. And the other thing I like about this is it's got a clear windshield, as opposed to these dark tinted that you really can't see out of. They're kind of pointless. So after I painted it black, I applied the Redline Shop decals, which this is the second time I did them, obviously on the white van. So I learned to cut real close around the edges, because what you cut is what comes off. And on the white van, I ended up getting some inside the window, a little bit here, I had to wait for them to dry, then go back and trim it. It was kind of a pain in the ass. So I learned my lesson there. After that, I applied 2 coats of Tester's clear coat. That's about it. This came out really good. I'm kind of psyched. I always wanted a white one and a black one. And I never had, growing up, I only had this California Cruising one and this Paramedic van one, which I did, I think it was my first custom. I swapped out the wheels. And it was pretty weathered, so I kind of left it that way. I'd like to be able to figure out a good way to restore this one, but I'm going to eventually, not my next one, but I haven't seen these decals anywhere. If anybody knows where I can get some, leave me a comment or message me, because I'd like to redo this one, and I'll probably experiment with some different chrome paints just to see what I can come up with. I mean, I think the body is a little too rough for me to strip and polish. I'm going to give it a whirl. Actually, no, I did try. I ended up doing the roof, and you could still see all the imperfections in the body. And this thing was just beat to hell when I was a kid, and definitely got plenty of playtime. And you know, I thought about actually just doing what I did with this, and kind of just enhancing what was already there and just changing the wheels. But this one, I'm not sure. I think I want to try to chrome. I mean, I know I could send it out for chrome plating, but I just don't want to spend the money for something so small unless I have a bunch of them. So anyways, if anybody knows where I can get these decals, let me know. So that's about it. My next project for actually Saturdays, hopefully I can at least give some updates. When I was a kid, I had this Stutz Blackhawk. It was the silver with the stripes on it. At some point, I must have thought it was cool to paint it black. Yeah, see, it was the silver. So some of the paint that wore off. So I'm going to try taking some of the black off, and if I can, I'm going to see what condition the paint is underneath. But more than likely, what I'm going to end up doing is taking this apart, cleaning the base, and I'm probably going to paint it black, because that's what childhood me wanted to do. So I'm probably going to try it. I don't know. I mean, I was never a big fan of this car, but it is kind of cool. The wheels are in good shape. I may change them out to some monoblock wheels, or I've got I don't know, some M2 wheels that would probably look pretty cool on this. So I'm either going to do this one next, or I'm going to do this twin mill next. This was another poor attempt when I was maybe 10 years old. So it would have been 1980. Yeah, I'm 48. Still playing with cars. But I obviously wanted it blue. This was the orange one with the special decals. You know, I've got another, what is it over here? If I can do it without knocking every single thing over. Yeah, I got this one at one point. So it's not like I don't have a twin mill, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do something custom with this. The motors are kind of loose. I'm not sure why. I don't even remember if they're supposed to be loose or not. The base is still tight, but this thing from day one, right out of the package, I remember as a kid, I thought it was so cool, but it never rolled. And apparently I did something with the wheels, because they're all lopsided, and I don't know. I may customize this, put some newer red lines, something like the ones off of this. I just think would look pretty cool. But it's a pretty big diameter wheel, so I don't want to do too much custom work to it. But anyways, that's it. And again, as usual, if you found this semi-entertaining, make sure you hit subscribe or like or both. I noticed this week I did pick up a couple subscribers, and I want to say thank you. And I know it takes a lot to earn somebody's trust enough to hit the subscribe button, so I want to say thanks. And I did notice, and I do appreciate it. So I'll catch you on the next one.